Okay, so there's some big news in the Marvel universe. Not just the cinematic universe. It is also the comic universe. Mostly the comic book universe. And this article is from Times something, and let's just read it. Marvel editor explains how Captain America was a HYDRA agent all along. Let me repeat that to you. HYDRA agent. Really? Okay, so let's just look at the details, and this is probably, this is of course, and I wanted to give my opinions on this and how this is weird. In a shocking twist, Steve Rogers always has been and will continue to be a member of the evil group known as HYDRA. They didn't put HYDRA, so let's just watch this video first.
Can I ask you something? What happened?
What? No.
Sorry.
What? This is not to do with Captain America. What? 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 This makes no sense. What? Was that on this trailer voice guy? Oh.
I think you missed a comment.
Shut up! Before you rush out to see Thor: The Dark World, it's important to know what you're getting into. Sure, you can zone out to 90 minutes of explosions and predictable dialogue, but if you want the full experience, you need to understand the wider Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Not a word.
Action! While Marvel and cinema can't, of course, replicate the robustness of over half a century of the comic books, it does do its best to interweave the stories of some of its most...
This has nothing to do with Captain America except for the fact this is 4. So let's just, read this fully. Sure, he wears the red, white, and blue of America on the outside, but on the inside, it turns out Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, supports the evil former Nazi organization HYDRA. Marvel Comics introduced this shocking twist Wednesday morning when Captain America Steve Rogers issue number 1 went on sale, and it turns out that they have been hints that this was coming. Oh jeez, that this has been coming for a long time. That's what she said. Time spoke with Marvel executive editor Tom about the decision, the clues, and why HYDRA's rhetorical whatever sounds an awful lot like the certain awful lot like a certain presidential candidate. Time. How did Marvel decide to make Steve Rogers a secret HYDRA operative? Nick Spencer, Nick Spencer, who was the writer of the series, pitched us the story as part of a parcel of restoring Steve to his youth and vigor, whatever that means. In the comics, he's been old for a while. I knew that. I I keep up with the comics. The super soldier serum that was keeping him young had been broken down by the Iron Nail, which you've probably never heard of. So, for the 75th anniversary, Nick had this notion that we were going to restore him, but then we went into this other story about HYDRA, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. Okay. If readers go back and look at the older comics, will this hold up? It will. Issue 2 is kind of wins the clock back a little bit and layers exactly how and why things are the way they are, and it layers the roadmap for when things are heading in the future. At this point, we don't want to say too much, definitely, because people want to read the comic books, but people want to be able to connect the dots and follow the trail of the breadcrumbs, or in this case, the shield crumbs. Worst joke ever conceived by a human. How long has this been in the works? Almost since the beginning, when Nick started writing the Captain America titles, which would have been the end of 2014. So right around there, the conversations first started about this. It's been in the works for more than a year. Okay, good to them. What does this mean for the Marvel Universe? It means that on the most fundamental level, that the most trusted hero in the Marvel Universe is now secretly a deep cover HYDRA operative, and in fact, a fact that's really only known to the readers and to him, that makes every interaction that he has with anyone take a second layer, just like an onion, and a second meaning, just like every good old-fashioned movie. So let's just now blah blah blah. It talks about the support these beliefs, and it talks about the whatever, yeah, and also it says, is this a gimmick, and blah 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 blah. But basically, you want to know what I think of this. What I think of this? Well, not exactly what you think I would think of this. And to be clear, let's just show you the image of him, like, saying this stuff. Like saying, "Hail HYDRA!" There he is. Good old Steve. Now ruined by the reputation of saying the word "Hail HYDRA" and holding a dude hostage. And what do I think of this? It's great! This is what we needed for the Captain America character, because it's not that interesting. I don't want to offend anybody who loves Captain America, but he was never interesting. This This is just the right sauce that could spice up the Captain America formula. And besides, this might turn out to be fake. Like this page, this comic page. Everything is black and white except for red. Everything that's red. And this is the memory that says secret meeting. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this girl, she never existed. She's actually a memory planted by the Red Skull inside of Steve Rogers' mind. Which, if you haven't read, if you only know the comics, if you only know the Marvel Universe within the movies, this is shocking. But if you've read the standoff event, then you're not shocked at all, because, like, Red Skull saved Steve Rogers, and he has telekinetic powers, so he might have implemented these memories into his mind, and he's like, oh yeah, I want to join HYDRA now, for some reason. So it might not turn out the way people are thinking it is. So that's my thoughts on Captain America joining HYDRA. For all your new Marvel news, keep it here to Robert Lewis. Hail HYDRA!